Hello, guys, and welcome back to the show. To the show. Changing it up. Episode 74.
I mean, we really do put on a show every week.
We do.
We do.
It just sounds cool.
I tell you what else put on a show today?
The sunrise. That is worth talking about.
That is worth talking about. And that is sometimes when I will get FOMO.
Yeah.
If the sunrise is that good. Probably the best one I've seen living on the Gold Coast so far, by far.
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
Yeah, you would have seen both Tori and I posted multiple stories and a reel each.
Yeah, so if you missed it, go watch the reel because it's still there.
Crazy.
It was insane.
Yeah.
R&R.
R&R.
Off you go.
How was this week? This week was so much better. I think overall, I did have a really good week. Super busy at the moment. I just feel like I'm not stopping and it's catching up to me as of today. Past few days have been really good. The girls came down over the weekend, which was nice to enjoy some time with them. We didn't spend heaps actually.
No, girls being Taylor and Riley.
Yep, sorry, Taylor and Riley. Do we
Just
have any other friends? Probably not. Taylor and Riley. But like, for example, I still had like lots of prep things to do. So you guys went to breakfast and I still went to the gym, like did cardio and stuff. So I didn't feel like I spent heaps of time with them, but it was still super nice to have them down. And then coming Monday, I was like starting to feel like I was getting hit by a bus.
Yep.
And Beck was like, it's time for a refeed day. And I was like, yes, it is. And that basically just means increasing pretty much just your carbs for that specific day, just to kind of give your body some life again. So you're not running on depleted mode.
Every meal Lily had, she was like, guess what I get to have? And it was like Cocoa Bombs or it was rice.
Yeah. And it wasn't like a huge increase. I kind of like just sat at 2,000 calories per day and it was just like so good. So easy to eat that food though. I was like, wow, I could eat like quadruple this. But I got Cocoa Bombs, I got rice, and that was pretty much it. It was just like more volume, I guess. And
yeah,
it was just like
bigger meals.
Elite. Then that next day which was yesterday actually, felt so good in the gym. Could feel like my strength was there. So it's crazy what food truly makes a difference. It's insane. So back to everything normal today. Flying to Melbourne in a few hours actually. What else happened? Oh, I just want to quickly touch on the Madagascar crew.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
I don't know how this came up.
I have no idea how this came up, but basically our group, Chaos, is what we call ourselves.
Yeah, we call our group chat is Chaos.
Which is me, Tori, Riley and Taylor.
Yeah.
The Europe crew.
Yeah. And I think it started because they started these nicknames like ages ago.
Yeah.
And so they call each other Melman and Gloria.
Yeah.
And then it came up in conversation somehow. I don't know how. We're just sitting on the couch. And then we're like, so what? Like, what are our names? Like, what are me and Lil? And then the girl's like, so, Tori, I think you're Alex because, like, you can be a bit feisty, like a tiger,
Which
lion,
is the lion
sometimes.
Yeah.
And then they were like, Lil is, what's your name?
Marty, the
Marty.
zebra. I am
Which
the
just
zebra.
makes so much sense. And then we Googled. Do you remember what they were?
Not specifically, but it was like so accurate. It was like yours is like feisty sometimes, but still has that compassionate side. Mine was like people pleasing tendencies. And I was like, yep. And then Taylor's was like, can be really direct, but also really compassionate and kind. I was like, yep. They didn't give too much on Riley, but Riley just like Melman fits. We kind of been calling her, now this is not funny, but I'm like malnourished Melman.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it works. And so we've changed all our nicknames like on our phones and it's just really funny.
And doing a little backstory to that. So so Tori's the only Tori story on my phone. I've changed it to Alex. Like, it's just kind of it's not really easy to text her. I'm like, oh, Alex, have to text. But I'm in the car. She's driving behind me. We're trying to get the same destination. I miss a turn. I was like, shit, I need to call her. Now I'm going to go on my phone. So I said, hey, Siri, call Alex. Who doesn't call? No, it's calling you again. Stop. See, Siri did it again. Oh my God.
Shit.
Okay, well, it calls a girl called Alex. I'm not going to say her last name in my phone. This girl, oh my God, could not be further friends from her.
Wasn't it like someone from school?
Someone from school who I used to be in their group in year 8 or 9, just have her mobile number. Then it's her older sister. No idea why I have her mobile in my phone. It must have been like, I made her stay to her house in year 8 or something. I don't know. It started calling her. I couldn't hang up because my phone wouldn't open and something. So it's like fully calling her. She 100% would have seen my name come through.
That's so
and
funny.
anyway, so yeah, it just happened again. So it's really good.
That was perfect timing.
Yeah.
Good job, Siri.
Yeah. Then also just like another backstory. We all had the worst sleep Sunday night. So if anyone else had a bad Sunday night sleep, I think it was a collective thing because I saw Soph put on a story she had the worst sleep Sunday night because I'm going to tell you why.
It was the new moon.
Oh.
Yeah, that last weekend.
Makes sense because I go to sleep at 10.
The moon's in the microwave.
The moon is in the microwave. I go to sleep at 10 and I wake up all of a sudden at 10:30. Now, I do not wake up when I'm asleep. When I'm asleep, she's out like a light no matter what's happening around her. I just like suddenly wake up at 10:30, but not just like, oh, what time is it? Like, I'm up. I'm like, what's happened? And I just like felt like there's something on me. And I just like flinched and stood up and I saw a spider. And I'm not talking a little garden spider. I'm talking like a huntsman, right? Running up my pillow, down and back up, and then gone. And I was like, yeah, no, she's not sleeping here. I'm out here. I was thinking about moving some pillows, but I was like, no, not happening. I went and slept on the couch. Then Tori comes down, 3 a.m., 3:30?
Yeah, well, we went to sleep like a little bit earlier. And then I think I woke up at like 11 thinking it was time to get up. And then I was like, oh, no, still time like to sleep. Got plenty of time. And then I woke up again and I was like, sure, it's like 5 a.m. And it was like 3:30 or something.
Yeah, 3:30.
I was like, well, fuck, I'm awake. Like, I'm getting up. So I'm like, oh, I'll just go do some work because I was like mind racing straight away. And then so I'm like creeping downstairs to be really quiet. And I just like look over and there's this head like looking at me. And I was like, oh, shit, what the fuck are you doing? So then I hear the spider story.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'll just go to the office.
Yeah. So there's just a lot happening that night.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's pretty much me at the moment. Yeah. Oh, I did have like one more thought that I have like written down there. It's like YouTube, right? And this is just like what I want to discuss, have an open conversation.
Yep.
I love filming and I do really like editing, right? But work has been so hectic for me at the moment that is just like, of course, taking a front seat. Then YouTube kind of gets put to the back seat. And then so far it keeps getting put to the back seat. And I'm like slowly editing this vlog. Like it's nearly done. But now it's so far gone that I'm like, well, I feel like that's not even me. I feel like I don't even like the video because I've watched it so much. I've rewatched it so many times. Like this is boring.
It's the rewatching.
I'm like, this is so boring. I hate it. I don't want to post it. I want to start another one. But then that cycle keeps happening. And I'm like, I just got to get it up and put it up.
And it's like the longer you take to edit them, the more you hate it.
Yeah. And then it's also I'm in the mind frame like, well, why don't I just give up on YouTube altogether? Because if I'm taking this long, what's the point? But I'm like, there is a point. Like,
yeah, you just gotta find like a rhythm.
Yeah. Like, just like actually like dedicate, even if it's like a 2-hour block, twice a week.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that's not hard to do, but for some reason it's the easiest thing to push to the side. So that's just what I'm navigating right now, and I will get it up because I do love filming and editing, but it's just taken some time.
And like you had such a good, and like you will next prep as well, but like such a good opportunity to vlog all prep, the ups and the downs, and it's just like, like it fucking gets so hard.
Yeah, it does. You're doing really well with it though.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got to film one tomorrow to get up Tuesday.
Yeah, and you're doing a sit down chat tomorrow, so like a little bit easier. Yeah.
Hopefully.
So that's my life.
Love that. We like Lil said, had a chill weekend. It was like nice. Like we actually chilled. Whereas like the weekend before was like chaotic. Like wholesome chaotic.
Yeah.
What's new?
Like watch Tori's vlog type.
Yes, go watch my vlog. It's really good. And then the girls came down, and then on what day did I get a facial? Tuesday. I went and got a facial, went and got my enzyme facial, and my skin's definitely flared up from it because it just like brings everything to the surface. And last time I did enzyme in like 2021 would have been. I was doing them like really consistently and it would bring so much up, but like then I like cleared my skin. So I'm like, it's just got to be like, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
And like same with like celery juice, all my new supplements and like cleansing, detoxing. Bless you. No coughing.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm just like hanging in there, you know? And I've started the second round of my supplements yesterday or Tuesday, whatever it was. And so, yeah, I'm on day 34. And I'm just like, please, come in, please.
I do think overall your skin is much better.
Yeah,
like
it's definitely improving.
100%. Yeah.
Just like even the complexion's different. So I'm like,
yes,
please. And then Tuesday night I had my call, my More For Me call. I was saying to the girls that every time I say more for me, it sounds like morphine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of hate that. So maybe we'll change the name.
Pronounce.
Anyway, Yeah, you got to really pronunciate it. It was like so incredible, like more incredible than I ever would have thought. We had 10 girls in there, and each and every single one of them had just like such an insane story. And like for them to just hear each other's story and be like, wow, like, and even like there was a couple of them who didn't have, you know, a big story to get them to the point that they are now. But, and then that's where they were like, I don't feel like I have a reason to want to be better because I don't have like a low.
Yeah.
And I was like, and this is what I said to them. I was like, everyone has their own point that they get to where they're like, I'm sick of what I'm doing.
It's all relative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what you've been through or where you are in your life, like everyone just has like that turning point where they're like, I'm sick of how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, how I'm showing up. And that can look like whatever. But it's like getting to that point is insane because like that's just what's going to put you forward. And it was just really cool. Like there was tears, there was laughter, there was like so much in like the whole 2 and a bit hours. And it just kind of like was a cool place for me to sit in as well and just like I'm actually really good at it.
Yeah.
And like I had like so many notes and I was like worried that I kind of wouldn't be able to go off my notes or whatever. And like I would just go on and on and on. I'm like, I could sit here for another 2 hours and talk to them.
And before you're like, how am I going to do 2 hours? And then you came down 2.5 and I was like,
well, that's because I was like, either it's going to be like really short or it's going to be really long. And then it just kept going and I was like, wow, like I could keep going.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, holy shit, like I am good at this work and just connecting with them. And yeah, it was just like insane. Yeah. So I'm going to open up the March round and see how we go. But then, yeah, I just feel like I didn't want to just end that call and then not speak to them again.
Yeah, it is that hard balance, hey?
Yeah, and I'm like, because when it's that, and that's why I've kept it like at 10 people because I want it to be so like connected and you're opening up to each other. So then I'm like, well, fuck, I kind of want to speak to them again. We'll be able to like help them over the next 6 weeks. So just working that out. And then tomorrow I'm so excited. I have my first call with my new mentor, which I just can't wait for.
Yay,
like I'm so excited.
I'm keen to hear about it.
We have Jackson and I have a meeting tomorrow with a guy.
I'm going to need some context here.
Yeah, actually, you know about it, but the meeting was meant to be last week and then it just got changed. So that's really exciting. Jackson's on the mend, which is good.
Oh, thank God. He's been so sick.
So sick. So he's on the mend, like still has a really bad cough and like struggles to talk because the air hits his lungs and then he can't breathe. So it's just a whole thing. Yeah. And I'm excited to just chill this weekend.
Yeah.
Lil's going to Melbourne. Jackson has something with the footy club Saturday and I'm just like,
wow,
I'm just chilling.
It's going to be so nice.
Yeah. And then we'll probably do like dinner.
Yeah.
Or something for Valentine's Day.
Bless. Yeah, Valentine. This is like, if he wanted to, he would. Jackson's been so sick, yet still, the only time he's left the house by himself in 2 weeks is to go get you flowers.
Yesterday.
Like, actually bless his soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good little egg.
It was my first Valentine's Day single. And
True.
yeah. And like, it actually brought up like more things that I thought it was going to. And not in any way, like, yeah, I've been like so fine, but I was like, went for a walk and I saw every single freaking couple out there. And I'm normally like so wholesome, so cute. And I was like, love that for you guys. Like, I don't know. I just had like I'm normally so happy for people. But yesterday I was just like, I don't know.
I'm just like, something. I don't like Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, why do we have just this one big day that everyone has to gloat about their relationships?
I do get that, but I also think it's like so fun and so special. Like, it's like celebrating your birthday. Like, yeah, everyone lives an extra year, right?
Yeah,
like,
but it's just like, I don't know. I just like, I don't think it's any different like to any other day.
No, it's definitely not. And you should get flowers on like any other random day or go for a picnic any other day. But I don't know. I think
if anything, you know it's coming on Valentine's Day because everyone else does it.
Yeah.
So you feel like you have to.
Yeah, but same as like Easter. You know you're going to get chocolate on Easter.
Yeah.
And you can eat chocolate any other time of the year. I don't know. It's one of those things, you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Shower thoughts. Was that everything for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Amazing.
Yeah.
A little bit shorter R&R than last week.
I know. Yeah, I feel like last week we did less.
Yeah.
We had more to say. And this week we've done so much. That's what I was going to say. I feel like, and we've spoken about this before, because I get sometimes where there's like working social media, you have weeks where there's like nothing. Like last week was so chill. I was just editing. Jackson was sick. Like it was like I didn't have any deadlines to meet or anything. And this week I'm like, I have to make 4 reels by Thursday and have to follow this brief, and then I'm coaching this day, and then that gets thrown on, and then it's like, holy fuck, it all comes in 1 week.
It does. It always happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've got like this really big like sense of inspiration for reels at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I can tell you. Like, so I've made 4 reels. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I came home from the gym and I was like, okay, I've got 3 more ideas for reels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm just like on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Okay. We good?
Yeah.
Good. Shower thoughts for this week.
Yes.
New segment. And I love it. JOMO or FOMO. Now, the podcast Do You Funky Mind, Alexis, how do you say her last name?
Fernandez.
She spoke about this, and this is where we kind of like sparked some inspiration. So we got FOMO. We've got fear of missing out. How about JOMO? Joy of missing out.
Yeah.
I get JOMO all the time. I don't love missing out on things, right? But it's like when someone goes to a party and it's like all your friends are going out and you're like, oh, I really wish I could go with them. That looks like so much fun. Yeah, no. Me, I'm like, oh, thank the Lord I'm not there. I'm so happy I'm not there.
Yeah. I feel like I'm now in JOMO, whereas I used to be in FOMO. Like all the time. Like I used to, like all through school, acro, like everything, I was like, I hate missing out. And now I'm the same. I'm like, I actually couldn't care less.
Yeah.
And this year, like, I don't know, since like New Year's, I'm just like drinking out, partying out, like.
We're not in that era.
Don't give a fuck. I don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
Like, ask me to go out and get a dinner and drink. No.
Oh, see, I love that.
Nah.
Why not? You and Jackson are not the couple to go out for dinner very often.
I don't like it.
That is my passion.
No.
That is my everything. No. I love going out for dinner.
I'm like, let's grab some like fishbowl and sit on the hill.
Yeah, also a vibe, but that's the difference. I will do that during the week, and going out on the weekend will be like my... No.
We couldn't, like, we just both hate getting dressed up, going to a fancy dinner. We both feel like it's, like, we sit there and we're like, this is not us.
Yeah,
I'm like, let's just go have a picnic or watch a movie in bed. Like, it's just... Yeah. Or go to the movies, like, in trackies. Like, that's our vibe.
I feel like I do have an underlying bougie side to me. That, like, doesn't come out very often, but she's there.
Yeah.
And when she comes to the surface, I love it. Like, going to, like, a fancy restaurant. And I'm not talking about spending crazy amounts of money, whatever, but, like, that's so fun to me. Yeah. I do love it. Finding different things on the menu, trying new things that I haven't heard of before. Like, love that.
Yeah, I like trying food and stuff, but I'm like, let's go to, like, the chill market, the Friday night market, and just
I do get that. Yeah. I do get that.
Just different vibes.
Time and place of both. Yeah.
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 Slay.
Yeah. But I do want to say, if there's a sunrise, FOMO.
Yeah. Like, stuff like that. Like, stuff where it's like, yeah, like if someone's gone on a sunset walk and it's like really nice. I'm like, oh. Yeah. Or if someone's gone to the gym when I like didn't really want to, but then like you the other day, you went to the gym and then I was like, fuck, I should have gone to the gym because I was on my laptop for like, I kid you not, it was like 11 hours. Yeah. And I was like, really should have broken it up by going to the gym, and then I felt bad for not going to the gym, and then I was like, no, it's actually okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a different sense of FOMO now.
100%.
Where it used to be like, yeah, missing out on partying, and I'm like, thank fuck.
Yeah, I agree.
Totally. Okay, we are chatting about your guys' favorite topic.
It always does so well.
Yeah.
It's just like nutrition in general.
Yeah.
And it's
interesting.
See, for me, I love it. And Tori's just like, it's food, just eat it. Like, you're not really on that train.
But then it's like, well, when I was younger, like I needed to hear this.
100%. Yeah. And our last few podcasts, when we have spoken about nutrition, it's more so been focused on like calories and things like that. So today we want to really focus on like intuitively eating and how to listen to your hunger cues. Last year, we did training, like don't fit yourself in a box, train to your current goals, to your current needs. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. And that's going to be very similar with this episode in regards to nutrition. So,
sorry, I just had a really random thought.
Okay, speak it.
Back to my R&R, just for a really hot second.
Rewind.
We got Wi-Fi.
Oh,
and it has actually changed my life. So Jackson and I have never had Wi-Fi since we've lived together for the last 3 years or 2 years, whatever. And we finally got it, and it's just changed my life, and I love it so much.
It's like, guys, we can open up our laptop, automatically connected. My phone is not overheating. I can just
draining the battery.
I can turn on the TV. It just works. I don't have to connect my hotspot, put it in.
I was just thinking about, like, I can't wait, like, when we go to upload this, I don't have to go to my mum's, or like, I had to upload my YouTube video whilst I was getting a facial using their Wi-Fi because I didn't have Wi-Fi.
It was this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
But it's finally done.
Fine.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
Okay, let's just like go back into the episode.
Yep.
So we're talking about food and what pretty much works for you. Now, I think Tori and I are the perfect example for this because our diets are so similar yet so different. And we actually, this kind of sparked my interest on the weekend. And I was just noticing, like, there was chocolate, M&Ms, everything on the table, right? Me, if I'm obviously not in prep, I would eat that because that's what I enjoy doing. And, like, I can have that perfect balance. And I freaking love processed foods. I'm just going to put it out there. Love it. It's my favorite. But I also know that line to stop, right?
It's my favorite.
It's my favorite. Along with fishbowl, noodle, and sushi.
Yeah.
But I'll have that. Tori won't. I've never seen you eat Skittles or M&Ms or like pods, you know, but you opt for like other things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Which is like your oat chocolate, your veggie bar, your other things like that.
Well, like, there's been a time and a place. Like, there was a time where, like, my go-to was, like, Macca's, Hungry Jack's, Red Rooster, M&M's, Tic Tacs, fucking Tim Tams.
Yeah.
Like, there was a time where I was the same. Like, anything, like, fatty, greasy, full of, like, dairy chocolate, like, was my thing. But I think because, like, growing up with my mum, who's always been, like, dairy-free, gluten-free, you just gradually kind of, like, catch on to that.
Yeah.
And then obviously going through everything that I have, like, I just know, like, dairy, no. Like, I just won't eat anything with dairy in it. And then I also think about, like, the sugar intake.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, there's a lot of sugar in that.
Yeah.
And, like, don't get me wrong, Mars pods, absolutely love. Tim Tams, I would slap. There's also gluten-free Tim Tams now, but they're not dairy-free.
Yeah.
And so it's
I would
like,
like grab onto like a random Tim Tam or something like that.
I
like,
love Tim Tams.
Yeah, random.
So
it's
much.
so weird how people like different things.
And, like, I will. Like, I'll eat them again eventually. But, like, right now, I'm like,
yeah,
everything's about my skin.
And the reason why this came to my mind is not to make yourself feel bad for going either way.
Yeah.
Because I could have easily sat there, like, let's say a few months ago and be like, oh, Tori's not having any, so I'm not going to have any. She's being good, so I'm going to be good. Is that benefiting me? Like, if I really want them, I'm going to have them because that is a point of restriction. Now, Tori's isn't restriction. It's literally like, oh, that doesn't make me feel good.
It's a choice.
It's a choice, right? And that is the biggest difference. So if you're going out for dinner with friends and they're like not really ordering much, I get the salad, but you're starving and you want something a lot more that's going to fill you up, opt for that. You don't have to copy your friends just because whatever they're doing and going through a different journey too. So it's like, if you want to have seconds, have seconds. If you're going out for ice cream after and they're like, oh, I'm full, and you're like, oh yeah, same.
Well, it's even like when we were in Italy and we all like went out for lunch and I think we all got pizzas and one of us got a salad and it was like, I like don't care that she's getting a salad. Like, that's what she felt like.
Yes.
I'm absolutely going to order the largest pizza and eat the whole thing.
Yeah. And that can be swapping and change for both Tori and I. Like, I can sometimes get the salad and Tori will get like a whole pasta pizza thing.
Yeah.
Like, it is so different. And that's when you can't compare yourself to your friends because you're just not going to live your life full of enjoyment. Then you're going to go home and like snack on other things that maybe you could have just like enjoyed yourself while you were there.
And it's like using that M&M example. Like, if we obviously weren't as close and you didn't know that I was doing it for the sake of my skin or whatever, like, and maybe we were at a party or whatever and you just saw me like say no and then you're like spiraling thinking that like I'm restricting myself because whatever, like I want to lose weight or whatever. Like, that's where I feel like majority's mind would go into like, oh, she's restricting, I will feel bad if I go and eat it, I'm not going to eat it either. Whereas like, you know, I'm making the choice not to eat it because it's just not good for me and I won't feel good. And then you're like, well, I can enjoy a couple of M&Ms and be good.
And that's a difference, right? It's being able to actually enjoy yourself in like little increments here and there without going above and beyond. Because if you say, no, it's going to get to a point, if that's out of restriction where you're like, oh my God, I was going to use this weekend, let's eat whatever I want, I'll start again Monday. And that's when you start to go in this up and down cycle where it's like, fully no or fully yes, and you keep swinging that pendulum side to side without actually incorporating that balance, where it is so important to do so you don't keep going from one side to the next and your body can just like get in routine and not really care what you basically give it in that way. Yeah. So this is kind of like where I'm going to fall into like identifying yourself, like how to intuitively eat. So basically what that means is eating in line with your hunger cues. Now there's a difference between emotional eating and physical hunger, and they're probably like the biggest two things that you almost have to identify when you are like eating your food. A lot of the time, once we've gone from tracking our calories, that is so easy to keep us in line. We know like what our maintenance is, easy to track your food throughout the day. Cool, I've eaten enough, leave it at that. When you get to like intuitively eating and you don't track at all, it's like, oh, am I full? Am I not full? Don't really know. Am I hungry? Am I not hungry? And you can kind of like fall into a state of like not trusting your own body, and it's really listening to your own hunger cues. So emotional hunger is basically eating out of like one, boredom, if you're like sad, if something's gone on throughout the day and you're like comfort food. But then physical hunger is actually just like listening to your hunger cues. Yep, I'm feeling hungry, starting to get like a little bit tired, my tummy grumbling, I'm gonna eat food and eat till I'm satisfied. And they're probably the two biggest things. Your body knows when it's hungry and it's going to give you signs that it needs to eat food. Exactly the same when you need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You need to pee, you know you need to pee, so you go to the toilet, right? So why would you like stop yourself from essentially going to the toilet? Do you know what I mean? So if you're hungry,
yourself.
eat. Yeah, your body is telling you. So that is the biggest two ways to figure out how you are feeling.
Yeah.
With all of that.
100%. I think like this year has probably been the best I've gone like intuitively eating. Like I would say like towards the end of like last year, coming home from Europe to now, I just think like I've nailed the feeling of like eating when I'm hungry. I've really pulled back on my snacking, which we'll probably get into a bit later, but just focusing on having more dense 3 meals.
Yes.
And making sure that they're full of everything that, you know, proteins, fats, carbs, but also that's going to satisfy me within that. Yep. So it's like for my breakfasts at the moment are like fucking
they look so
fire.
Good.
Like I'm about to make a breakfast reel because I'm just like, they're so good. But making sure like I've been having this morning I made like a big bagel and it was like turkey, avo, vegan mayo, spinach, pumpkin, cucumber. Like it was like a bagel you buy from the shop, like a bagel shop. And it was just so yum. But then because I like that bit of a sweetness, I also had some blueberries, strawberries and a nectarine and like just cut it all up. And then the other day I had like scrambled tofu, sweet chili, spinach, gluten-free bread, like, and then I always just have fruit.
I think it is so important to enjoy what you're eating as well, but also enjoy cooking part, right? Some people hate cooking. I get that, right? But also if you want to fall into it, romanticize it. Exactly what you've been doing. You don't have to chuck 2 pieces of toast in the toaster, chuck some Vegemite on it and call it a day. If you're in a rush, I get it. If you have some time on the weekend, actually put effort into making your breakfast and see how much big of a difference it actually makes. Your breakfast.
And my breakfasts don't take long.
Oh my God, you did it in 5 minutes?
Yeah, honestly, like my bagels, the big ones like that, they take like 5 minutes. Or if I'm doing scrambled tofu, I have to fry the tofu, but because it's like, it's not like a meat, it doesn't take long at all. Yeah, like you just quickly stir it.
And it's also by the time like you're standing on your phone or sitting in the car before
the toast is
like it takes literally 2 minutes. And people say all the time, oh, I don't have time to make a good breakfast. Okay, I get you're probably in a rush. Wake up 5 minutes early and I promise you will. I promise you will. Or maybe don't sit on your phone in the morning for 5 extra minutes. You can sit on your phone for like 5, not 10. You know what I mean? It's those little details throughout the day that make a big difference. But put effort into your food is all I'm going to say.
I look forward to my breakfast so much.
Yeah.
And like I used to skip breakfast. I used to skip breakfast full stop.
Yeah.
Or I didn't even know. Like I just thought skipping breakfast was so good and now I'm like, I could never.
You need breakfast in the morning. Now, if you're not hungry first thing, don't eat it, right? Again, listening to your hunger cues, but I truly believe that within the first few hours of you waking up, like you need some sort of energy to get you going for the day, to also have your brain
that's not
power.
Caffeine.
Yeah, it's not caffeine. Listen to Tori, not caffeine. That like gives you some sort of like function and ability to train to your optimal performance too, right? You need fast carbs in the morning or just carbs in general to give you energy to lift in the gym. You will notice a huge difference between not eating before you train and eating after you train. If you're like training really early, I still suggest like have half banana, 2 rice cakes or some jam on top, something.
This morning example, because I was training early and I generally eat, so I'll just give you a bit of a rundown. I usually go for my walk straight off the bat and I come home and have my celery juice, which is not meant to eat anything half an hour after. So I had my celery at like 6:30, which took me to 7. And then because I was going to the gym, I was like, I'm not going to have a massive breakfast. So I had 2 rice cakes with jam.
Yes.
Straight to the gym, did my lift, came home and made my big fat bagel.
There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about. We need something small beforehand, then have your breakfast after. You don't have to have this full breakfast before. And the other day, like I normally have breakfast around like 8 a.m. That's what works best for me at the moment. But I was training legs at 8 a.m. So what did? I ate my oats at 5 a.m. because I was like, I need something. And I didn't want to move too many things around, but it's so important to eat before you train.
Yeah, 100%.
Love that. So do you want to get straight into snacks then?
Yeah.
Because this is, again, where something's going to work for someone and not for someone else. Tori likes 3 bigger main meals. I need 2 decent snacks. So I will eat like, I would say 6 times throughout the day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, morning, afternoon snack, and dessert.
Yeah.
That's what works best for me. Tori's a little bit opposite. She likes to dense up her meals.
Yeah, I like to dense up my meals so I'm fuller for longer. Because I feel like if I just eat a small meal, I'm just going to be hungry in an hour.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'd rather have big breakfast, lunch, and dinner and then 2 like snacks to kind of get me through to my next meal. And I've also found like when I snack, I get bloated. I feel pretty shit.
Yeah.
And that's just like, yeah.
And then again, what works for one does work for another, because if I don't have snacks, I get bloated. My energy's down.
Yeah.
I'm constantly food focused to my next meal because I feel like it's further away. So it's like, find what works for you. Don't go off other people. If you only want 1 snack today, have your 1 snack.
Yeah.
But just make sure they're sustainable. And I think from working with a lot of clients, the biggest thing I see is snacks aren't actually nourishing them. They're really good at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's actually quite easy. We all know how to balance those main meals. It's the snacks that people are like, well, what do I eat? And people go for like packaged foods and artificial foods. They're not going to fill you up. A lot of the time, they're a lot higher calories. It's just like, it's just not working. So make your snacks like decent. Again, put some effort into them. My favorite, let's go through our favorite snacks.
Yep.
My favorite is, actually wrote them down. Okay. In the morning, I love a bagel with peanut butter and jam, or like a crumpet, peanut butter jam,
the goat.
avocado,
Like, goat of all
rice thins,
snacks.
something. Peanut butter and jam just hits different.
Yeah, put on anything.
Yep. Or on top of those, so like my main carb source would be like the bagel, crumpets, English muffin, or rice thins. And then I'll have like or avocado and turkey on it, or banana and peanut butter. Like, elite.
Yeah.
Also, my second favorite, cocoa bombs. We all know that, with yogurt, peanut butter, and frozen blueberries. Again, that just like fills me up. I feel like it's more of a decent meal that I can enjoy for a while, and I just gives me some life for like my late afternoon snack, satisfies my cravings in terms of like the cocoa bombs is like a little chocolate sugar hit. Then I got my frozen blueberries, balance out with some like protein, yogurt, and then peanut butter fats.
Yeah.
Works well.
Yeah, I feel like mine would be same, like peanut butter and jam on a bagel or a piece of like gluten-free bread or rice thins. Definitely protein smoothie.
You do love a good smoothie.
Yeah, I really do. But even then, like, I couldn't have, like, if I was to have, like, I prefer Exo Crunch over Cocoa Bombs, but if I was to have Exo Crunch, like, I couldn't have it as a snack because I'm like, it doesn't fulfill anything. Like, I would have Cocoa Bombs or Exo Crunch if I'm like, say I'm coming home and I'm like getting pretty hungry, but dinner's not going to be ready for another half an hour. I'll just have a little bowl just to like get me through to dinner, to tie me over, instead of like just starving until I get to dinner and then I'm not satisfied.
Yeah.
But if I was to like have breakfast at like 9, lunches until 1, and now I just had like Exo Crunch in the middle, it would satisfy nothing. Like, I'd still be hungry.
I do get that, and I think that's why I put it with yogurt, peanut butter, and frozen blueberries to hit those other like nutrient food groups, I guess, as well. Also, when I'm in my growing space, I have like 100 grams of cocoa bombs, so I feel like it's a little bit different in terms of like volume of food. It actually does fill
But I think
you
in your growing phase, you are eating more generally.
Yeah, so it's completely different. Yeah.
And then what was I going to say? But yeah, just like avo and like sliced turkey.
Oh,
It's just like such a good combo.
Guys, we love turkey.
So good. So good. And that's what I had in my bagel this morning and most mornings. But it's like so light on your stomach. It's a lean meat. And dogs are in the air.
Really sore.
Yeah, like it's just like such a good snack that you get your fats in, your protein, and then some carbs.
Yeah. And that is the biggest thing as well. You need to have those like protein, carbs, and fats. I know we have spoken about this again, but I'm just going to give you another little rundown to balance your meals. Your protein is obviously going to help your muscle recovery and muscle growth, but it also increases satiety levels. So you're going to be satisfied after having protein in a meal. Carbs, going to be your main source of energy, and then fats is going to balance your hormones, and it also slows down your digestion. So pairing that with the 3, that is such a good balanced meal, going to keep you fuller for longer and going to have more energy for longer as well. So that's why it's important to balance your meals throughout.
Yes. Period.
Yes. Going into, I just love talking about what works for me, doesn't work for you, because I just want another little thing.
Okay.
She just loves it right now. But talking about quality of foods.
Yeah.
Right? You're very conscious of what you put in your body.
Yes.
I am obviously to a degree, like 100%. I feel like I'm like playing it out that I don't care what I eat. I obviously do. I'm competing. Like I know everything around it, but I'm not going to be as conscious as maybe you, who is more focused on like your healing journey and gut journey and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Example, I love my oats. Not working for you right now. Love my peanut butter. nuts aren't working for you right now. So it's also going off finding what works for you in a way of like not following these fad diets just because like, oh, I saw on the internet that someone's cutting out oats because they're not good for you. Okay, do some research as to why it's not working for them.
Yeah, there's so much out there. I feel like right now specifically, and like Daily Dose of Rose put up a really good reel. Maybe we'll reshare it on the pod. But it was about she's like watching her phone and she's eating an apple and then she swipes up and it's a reel and it's a guy being like, apples are no good, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, oh, fuck, like, okay, picks up something else. And then it's another reel of being like, no, don't eat that. It causes this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And so there's always going to be like an overarching message from someone or another about what you're eating. And so it's like, well, I cut out oats for a bit. I'm like, okay, like I'm actually noticing a difference in my gut skin. So I'm like, let's just like leave that for a bit.
Yeah.
But whereas like the other day I thought I was going to have to get up for work early and the only real like good meal that I could take would have been like overnight oats because I couldn't have made my bagel or whatever. So I was like, I would have done that like once, you know, in the last like 2 months or whatever. Yeah. So it's just like like the hardest thing with like nutrition and stuff is it comes down to trial and error.
Yeah.
Like the last 3 years has been me trialing and erroring.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's really important to not just like see something on the internet and be like, okay, cool, that's what I'm going to implement into my diet. There's always a reason behind why someone is doing something. Educate yourself if you want to go down that path. Okay, cool, because that might work for you. But if you don't want to, then don't.
It's so annoying because it's like, why isn't it just one?
Oh, I know.
Like oats, no. So like, let's just get rid of them, like for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, why is there a yes side and a no side? Oh, I hit my mic. Or like, I don't know. It's always like yes, no, maybe so. So just like,
it's annoying.
Do what you want. But also kind of going into like honoring your cravings. And I think this is so important in terms of the fact that if you don't eat what you want to eat, you're going to eat it later on. And you're going to eat 10 more times of that certain food group later on because you have been restricting yourself. If you get to lunch and you're like, salad, because that's what's meant to be good for you. It's lighter calories. I'm going to eat the salad, but you don't want that and you eat it anyways. I can promise you by the time it gets to the afternoon, you're going to crave something sugary. You're going to crave chocolate. You're going to crave a big meal. Then it gets to dinner and you want that even more because maybe you're restricted that snack. And it's just that never ending cycle and you eventually are going to eat it. Why not just have what you want in that specific time? Now, I'm not talking about I want M&Ms, I'm going to eat M&Ms, right? It's actually being smart with it and being like, oh, I'm a bit more hungry today. I'm going to add some maybe rice or pasta into my salad to volumize it today because that's how I'm feeling and I'm craving something more.
Yeah, and it's like if you are in a stage where you're like scared of carbs, it's like so you can slowly add like a cup of rice to your salad, but like add a shit ton of like lettuce so it's like full of volume. Yeah. Add some more pumpkin so it's like more dense because pumpkin's like such low calories. Yeah. And it just tastes amazing. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to have a little bit of rice, but I'm going to volumize it with the salad and the veggies. Yeah. And it's like I pack my bowls with veggies. Yeah. Because I'm like, they're way lower in calories, but they make me feel
so good.
So much better and like full and satisfied.
Tell you who does
and they taste amazing.
Good job at that is Riley too. Your breakfasts look great. Riley's lunch and dinners look elite. Yeah. She's got like pickled this, sauerkraut, this food group, that nut. I'm like, wow, that looks incredible. The more you put in a bowl as well, the better it tastes as well. You've got so much flavors going on. Yeah. And it is just so easy to meal prep at the end of the day. You don't have to have all these crazy ingredients. Literally like, what do I have in my fridge? Let's put all that in a bowl. And that's what you do 24/7. Like Tori's not a huge cooker. No. Now and then you would be like, oh, I'm going to make pad thai for dinner. Or I'm going to make, what did you do the other day? Like teriyaki chicken. Smelled amazing. But like, you're not the biggest cook in the world, but your meals are still so good and full of every single food group.
We mentioned it in the last episode, but like I ingredient prep. Like I will have all my veggies there. I'll have my rice. I'll have my pasta ready. So I can always change up my meals because Jackson and I are pretty like plain, simple eaters. But we make our dishes still taste phenomenal. Yeah. Because we just add little bits in. And I'm not like just stuck to like that one meal. Yeah. Which I don't like.
They had something really interesting 2 nights ago, wasn't
it? Oh, our pasta dish.
So like.
No, let me explain it.
Okay, I'm just like, I'm not on board. I'm going to have to try.
So this is our famous pasta dish. I don't know how we got onto it, but we started making it back when we lived in Adelaide. We made it for Christmas. We made it for like some family event and then everyone was obsessed with it. So the family like make it Christmas Day. And so since then we've made it for Christmas. So basically, we make a big batch of pasta. We roast pumpkin, sweet potato, capsicum. So yum. And then we add it all together, mix it all in. We add hummus, mix it all in. Sweet chili, mix it all in. And then we top it with roasted chickpeas. So it adds that like crunch. When you're off prep, I'm going to make it for you.
Okay, I'm
It
keen.
is so yum.
You just wait till I'm in my cooking era.
I don't know anyone who's tried it and hasn't liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
It was just like when I watched you pour sweet chili sauce into pasta, I was like, what's happening? And then all of a sudden you're putting hummus. I was like, okay, now what's happening?
Yeah, no, it's
Okay,
so
I need to try
good.
it.
I have
I'm
some in the fridge and I'm going to have it for lunch.
Oh, I really want to try some. Okay. The other thing I just wanted to touch on is kind of like I know I said we're focusing more on intuitively eating this episode, but is when you, I don't know how to explain it, but you have your set calories, right? Let's say roughly your maintenance is 2,000 for an example. You can hit that mark eating whatever food you like, really. So if you want to opt for more packaged food, completely plain food, not focus on micronutrients, sure, you can hit that mark. Or you can hit that mark full of full nourishing foods that are actually going to make you feel good, fuel you for performance, and still have your food groups in there that are going to be more of a soul-based food, right? Like if that's a bit more chocolate and things like that. You need to lean more towards a side that's going to make you feel better. If you're constantly focused on, oh, I've got to hit this many calories a day, I've got to do this and do whatever you can to hit it and completely forget about all other food groups, I promise you, your journey to get you where you want to be is going to be so much slower. And it's like, oh, but I'm eating like hardly any calories a day. But it's like, look at what food you're eating as well. It's so important. Even like if you're in a huge surplus, you will find you eat or you're going to make so much more progress if you're eating foods that are going to sit well with you, that your body can digest so much more. So really just like reflect upon that and not just look at food as calories. Look at, okay, is this going to fuel me and nourish me? And that is like the most important thing to actually having a successful journey.
2 things on that.
Ready?
First of all, you didn't really speak about it, but it's just come to my head. We need to get rid of the word cheat meal. We need to get rid of the word cheat.
Have I said that this episode? No.
Cheat is out.
It is.
Treat is in.
Yes.
And like normalizing that you're allowed to have treat meals.
Yes.
Because I
call it soul food.
That's what I was about to say. That's why I thought of it.
Yeah.
Because I think of like chocolate and like, or whatever. I'm like, that's a soul food. Because you eat that. Like so Jackson for Valentine's bought me my favorite chocolate and we both had some last night. And there's like, it's a big block and there's 5 squares in it. Yeah. And so we had 2 each and there was 1 left. So I like put it in my mouth and then he bit it on the other end. It was really cute. So cute. And I was like laying there with my eyes closed, just like eating it. Because it's just like, it's so yum. I'm like, that makes my soul happy.
Yes.
But there was a time where I used to eat chocolate because like I loved it. But I'm like, oh, I'm cheating. Like this is so bad. So because you're thinking about it so negatively, you're not actually enjoying it or romanticizing it, or you're not getting satisfied because you're like, this is naughty. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to gain weight. Like it's such a negative.
And then you go into the mindset and you're like, oh, well, I'll just finish the whole block and maybe the other block of chocolate. So then I won't have it tomorrow and I'm going to start again and it's out of my sight. No.
That is something that comes into my mind still to this day.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I used to, especially when I lived in Adelaide, we always had chocolate in the house. So it was like, it was there. I had to finish like the whole block, half the block. Like I would do that in one good sitting. And I always was like, how the hell do people just have one row and call it a day? Now I'm like, that's what I can just do because I get to have it every night. Because I'm like, oh, cool, yay, I'm excited for chocolate, but I can also have it tomorrow night. Yeah. And you enjoy it while you're eating it. There's not this, it's not put on a pedestal, so you only get it on this specific occasion. It's like when you go to the movies, you just have popcorn, right? But it's like, okay, but I can actually have popcorn at home. Or I can have it when I go to my friend's house or something like that. You don't have to put food towards specific occasions. You can have them anytime you want.
Yep. My auntie actually used to eat a full family block of Cadbury every single night.
We spoke about this.
Yeah. Like the big Cadbury one, the big one, family block. No one was allowed to touch it. You would try and grab a piece and she would literally slap you. Like, no, you weren't allowed to have it for like 14 years, like every single night. And so it was actually a New Year's resolution. She was like, no more chocolate. And it's now been 8 years and she's never had chocolate since.
That's like, what's that switch going on there?
Yeah, that's a switch and a half.
Yeah.
And like she won't have anything that's got chocolate in it because she knows as soon as she has like it'll just be back on. And she's felt so much better without it.
Well, yeah, no shit, a family block a night. It's not going to make you feel great.
I don't know if she's alive, to be honest.
Wow, that's honestly probably got to a point where she was like, I'm sick of it. Like, I'm off it.
She she wasn't off it.
Wow.
And like she could go back to it easily, but she just chooses not to.
That's crazy.
The other thing I was going to say is Jackson being sick, he's actually lost quite a bit of weight. He's looking a little bit malnourished, if you will.
Maybe Melman.
But like he went to training last night for the first time, or Tuesday night, just like walk around and like show his face. And all the boys were like, oh, like a little bit skinny. And he's like, I know, you don't need to tell me that. But his strength and conditioning coach was like, don't worry about what you're eating. Like just get food into you, eat as much as you can. And I was like, no, like this is the reason he's sick in the first place, because he wasn't eating good quality foods, fueling his gut to do the work that he's been putting in. And I think that's where the bulking industry, or like the more so the male side of it, unless like you are in bodybuilding and stuff like that, where it's most common, but you get so caught up in like just eating whatever the fuck is in front of you. And then once that season's finished, or like you're just trying to get into intuitive eating, you're like, fuck, like how do I actually fuel properly? Because all you've just eaten to build size. And now it's like, no, like you need to actually nourish your body.
I think Chloe Bromwich put a really good reel up the other day, but she was literally talking about petrol. She was like, okay, you fill up your car, right, with like 91 unleaded. You're still going to get from destination A to destination B. You fill it up with like 98, the highest quality fuel you can, you're still going to get from destination A to destination B, but the overall performance of the car is going to be so much better. It's a long-term better for the car as well, and that is exactly the same with your body. You're going to be able to sustain that energy for a longer time, feel so much better inside and out too. Yeah.
Period.
Such a good way to put it.
It is a good way to put it.
I did love it. So random, but I just quickly want to say, if you don't have an air fryer, go buy one.
Go
buy one. I would say I use it slightly more at the moment.
We
love
use
an
the
oven. I love an air fryer purely for time
so
convenience, and
easy.
I'm lazy. It's pretty much what it is. I just cut it up, especially my pumpkin and my potato. I do agree it does taste better in the oven, but the air fryer is so convenient. Chuck it in. But
it's kind of the same.
It is the same, but I think the pumpkin juice and the crispiness of the potatoes in the oven, it's like the middle is still soft, but the outside's crunchy.
From the oven?
Yes.
Which is what you like?
Yes.
But I mean, putting it in the oven or putting it in the air fryer.
Time convenience. Sorry, this is where I'm like, you have to heat the oven up.
So turn it on when you're cutting them.
Okay, but majority of the time, I want it now. I'm hungry
but
right now.
you don't get it right now when you put it in the air fryer either.
Okay, our ovens also makes very loud noises, and it pisses me
you go
off.
upstairs anyway and have a shower, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, well, I like the air fryer.
But don't take the oven because I like it. So.
Okay, it does work really well.
Yeah, it does.
Put in the air fryer, 20 minutes, 180 to 200 degrees, done. Oh, how easy. I did that, had a shower, came back, ready. So don't tell me you don't have time when that took me 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also air fry my broccoli sometimes.
Yeah.
It does taste good for good crisp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so hungry now. Okay.
Yeah.
And then sticking to the basics.
Stick to the basics.
So important.
Honestly,
like,
you're going to
stop trying to complicate it.
So much more consistent. And like stop. Okay, there's a time and place. I 100% agree to make at home McDonald's burgers. Like fun.
Yeah.
But if you're doing that every
homemade pizzas, like a Friday night vibe.
Slay.
Love it. Might even do that tomorrow night.
Oh, so slay.
But it's like, 95% of us right now are on the go. We're pretty busy people,
We
right?
are, especially the raw reality girlies.
Yeah.
We've got shit on.
We do. So stop trying to complicate it. And it's like, have all the basics in your fridge and then make a complicated meal from that.
Yeah.
Which is me. Hello, I'm the queen of that.
You are.
And it tastes so freaking good. It's healthy. It's quick. It's already in the fridge. And I'm happy.
I'm happy.
You know?
Yeah. So bottom line, if you want to take away from this episode, number 1, do what works for you and don't follow or copy anyone else, because your body's going to respond differently to someone else's.
And it's like you can see those trends and think that might work for me and give it a go. Like that's how you trial and error. It's like, okay, you followed someone on Instagram and they're providing really good information, and it's like maybe stop trying oats or cut out this, and it's like, okay, give it a go. And you have to give it a go for at least a month. Yeah. Like minimum.
Yeah.
To know if it's going to work for you. Doesn't work? Let's try something else. Let's change the approach. But yeah, you can't just like jump from fad to fad, which is a position that I used to be in because I was just so desperate to lose weight and be skinny. And like, if you've seen my recent reel, you would see the messages I sent to my mom. I literally was like, I want to train 5 times a day and eat carrots and cucumber fucking
It's not
shit.
sustainable. And then you're going to put on weight after because you can't listen to your body. You don't know when you're hungry, when you're not hungry. Just like trust yourself. And I think that's the biggest thing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Trust your ability to know when you're hungry, when you're not, when you want food, when you don't. And just like listen to yourself.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Listen to your body.
And stick to the basics. They're the
Yeah.
two things.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice. That
Nice.
was longer than I thought.
It always is. Moving into our raw reflection of the week. I absolutely love this question.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read it out. How to uphold self-belief when things don't go your way. I've just started my own business doing PT and take it very personally if people don't want to work with me. I know I need to have patience, but I just struggle with the self-belief and feel like quitting sometimes.
We have all been there, and Tori story, this has like come up in your world the past like 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm just going
Take it away.
I'm just going to speak to something that I spoke to in my call.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've almost felt ashamed of because I'm like, I'm so confident, you know, I know that I'm powerful and I know that I have value to give. And so I'm launching a new business this year. You guys have heard all about it, not like to detail yet, but you know that something's coming. And it was actually meant to launch probably like 2 weeks ago. And I had this big block around launching it because I was like, fuck, like I'm actually not good enough. I'm not educated enough. I don't have enough experience. Like all these stories that I know not to be true. Like I know they're not true. And I know that I'm freaking good at what I do when I'm in the studio teaching, when I'm on that call. Like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I know how to help people. But it was just like all these like limiting beliefs and all these stories that kept coming up that I was telling myself. And so I opened up to the girls about this. And one of them came back just like a little bit after and was saying how there was they're studying to be life coaches. And they were both just saying like they feel as though they don't have enough value or they're not good enough. There's always going to be someone better, which like facts, there's always going to be someone better than you.
Yeah.
Which like look up to that as inspiration, take it for motivation. But I said to the girls, I was like, were you surprised that I have felt like I'm not good enough to launch this business? And every single one of them nodded their head and was like, yeah. Because I'm like, well, I don't portray that, obviously. And then I felt like I couldn't share that on my socials because then I was like, well, I can't then go and launch a business after saying that I'm like not good enough.
Yeah.
And then it's just like this full circle. And I'm like, I can't open up about that because this question is showing me that I'm not the only person feeling it.
Yep.
And these feelings, especially launching a business on about something you're so passionate about, is going to come up, but it's about how you deal with it. And I think for one, talking about it is the first thing that is going to help you because you know you're not going to be alone, but also it comes down to the inner work.
100%.
Like over and over again, it's always going to come back down to that and knowing who you are and what you have to give. Because now after that call, I was like, fuck, like put me on a stage in front of 10,000 people.
Yeah.
And like let me have that conversation because it was fucking powerful.
Yeah. So that's like the before part of it, right? And that everything comes up for you. During, if you feel like, okay, cool, I've started something and it's not selling. Why isn't it selling? Maybe I should just quit. A really good example of this is one of our close friends, Taylor, Gloria, if you will. She was posting something on her stories. I'm one of her best friends. I watch all of her stories, right? She was selling a course, and for this, I think it was like the 7th time she posted about it. That was only when I actually realized what she was selling, and I bought in. I only realized after the 7th time she posted about it that was free. It took me to 7 goes to look at that exact same story for me to realize, oh, it's free, I'll sign up, because that's easy like for me to do. I have like I know she always provides value. She's bringing other people in for this like little mini course, and I'm like, I'm her best friend and it took me 7 goes. So that just goes to show you can't just show up for one day and be like, why isn't it selling? Because people don't trust you,
especially in the online world. And I think it's like, and I was saying this to the girls as well, we can get so caught up in specific ways to sell or trying to get people into your world. And when you're doing so, it feels so out of alignment and just like out of integrity because you're trying to just like fit in and do what everyone else is doing because you can see them making business from it and making profit. But it's like, okay, when I sold More For Me, for example, I had 5 buy-in the first day. Yeah. Because I have spoken to this work all the time on my stories. Yeah. And then I think it sold out after like the 2nd or 3rd time I sold. And then I went to sell for the 2nd time and I was posting the graphics that I'd made on Canva and I was like, nah, like this is not me. Like this feels so I loved the graphics. Like I love creating that stuff. But to sell that on my socials, I was like, nah, this feels off. Like I want to post a photo of me at the beach. Like that feels right for me. So it's like taking a step back and going, how do I actually want people to receive what I'm about to put out? And what do I currently do to like keep that in alignment to how I'm about to sell?
Yeah. And that wasn't you just showing up one day and posting it. Like you said, it's been months and months of back work.
Yeah.
Exactly the same with me. Let's say I'm like, okay, cool, I have a capacity for more clients to come on board. It's not me just one day posting like, oh, I do coaching, by the way. Like, people have seen me eat like consistent food throughout every day. Like, oh, cool, she knows what she's eating in terms of like tracking and all that. She knows how to do that. She trains really hard. I can see a few of her workouts on Zoom. She's consistently showing up. She knows how to be motivated. That's why they're buying into me. They're not buying into me because I posted 3 graphics in a row saying I've got coaching available.
Yeah.
If another thing that I do have, that I have found, especially within the industry, is like you do need testimonials. And if you find that you're really struggling in terms of like getting clientele, a lot of the time you like offer 1 or 2 clients that will be free, and it's like, okay, if you're coming on board with me, I will be using you as a marketing source essentially. And that has helped, I know, numerous amounts of people, just to be able to provide context behind why people should trust you. Because why should they trust you if you don't have any history, any testimonials or anything like that? They don't know your work. But it's also making sure that aligns with who you currently are.
And that could be like one of your clients has sent you a really beautiful message about how they've changed. You screenshot that message and that's up on a post.
Yeah.
And just like another thing on that as well, like if someone doesn't want to work with you, it's probably because they're not feeling the pull towards you as a person, and that is okay.
And so fine.
Yeah, you're not going to be perfect for everyone, and you don't want to be perfect for everyone. You should have the market that you're going for, and just know that like the people that come to you, like it will be right.
And every coach is going to be different for everyone.
Yeah.
For example, I'll have like some girls who come to me like, oh, I had a past coach. They didn't align with me anymore. They aligned with them during that season. And now they're like, okay, I'm in a new season. I want more of a like maybe a personable girl approach, because they've gone from like a guy, more scientific approach. Like, I just want compassion. Or maybe they'll leave me because they're like, I need science. I need a meal plan. I need a dietitian. Cool. We're not aligning anymore. Nothing to do with the work that I'm doing or the person that you are. It's just through different seasons, you're going to need someone different.
Yeah. And you might also get clients that don't align with you.
Yeah.
So you work with them for a couple of months and you're like, this isn't actually working out. Like, I need to let you go.
Yeah.
Like, it actually goes both ways. And obviously you've only seen that side of like people just not wanting to work with you. So figure out like how do you want to sell? How do you want to show up? Like, how do you want to attract your clients that fit in and align with you? And that's how they're going to find their coach.
Yeah. Period.
Wow.
We were like, let's do just a quick episode. Got so much on today. Going to the airport soon. Our meal prep haven't packed. Oh, an hour. Would you look at that?
Okay, gotta go. Bye.
See ya. But seriously, thank you so much for listening this week. We absolutely love seeing all of you guys share your stories online.
So many new people sharing.
Yeah, so many new people. And like some of the views, I'm like, wow, where do you live?
Yeah, I know.
Amazing. Yeah. So
keep sharing the hot girl walks.
We freaking love them.
And anything that you do.
We've also had a few people like send reels about Taylor Swift. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
That is a vibe.
That's all we're going to hear about next week.
Yeah, you are. I'm so excited.
Yes, can't wait.
Okay. Well, we'll speak to you next week and I talk about the concept for an hour.
Okay, cool. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.